How's all, and welcome back to a new game here on the channel. This is one you might have seen it around. It's just come out of alpha, out of the beta. It's been released as a full game on Steam anyway. It was alpha up until now, so that was a couple of weeks ago. I think you can pick it up. It's probably like 5 or 10 quid or something. I'm not entirely sure. I've been playing it for a long time, way back. It's on version 2 now. I've been playing it, I think it must be like a year or two. Very, very long time. It's gone through a lot of changes in that amount of time, so quite entertaining. You might recognize it. You could play it. There was a Flash version of Rogue Fable 3. It started as a Flash game I played on Congregate, but I think it was on a few websites like that. There was also a Rogue Fable 2, which I think was possibly bigger, and a Rogue Fable 1, which I have played, but not very often. Rogue Fable 2 was quite good. Rogue Fable 3 is excellent on the Flash game. It's definitely worth checking out, but it is quite far behind. So quite a lot of changes between the online version and this Steam version now. But if you want to check it out online, that's how I played it at the start, and then I enjoyed it, so I bought it. And yeah, it's pretty good. It's kind of finished now, I guess. Shouldn't be too many major changes, I don't think. There'll be bug fixes and things, but there's not very many major changes. So the way it works is it is a turn-based dungeon crawler kind of game. You control a character. You can see some of these enemies here, and it's all turn-based, so it kind of works on ticks. I'll show you, there's a lot of content in it. So you can pick a race, and each race has different effects, usually based on their size. You can see for the ogre, soul cannot move diagonally. You've got plus strength, minus intelligence. You only have 3 attributes, I guess. You have strength, intelligence, and dexterity. They're the only 3. So you can see each race has a different set number and different attributes. So mummy, no hunger, but can consume potions. Immune to poison, uses level. So you've got a bunch of races, and then you also have a bunch of classes. So you can have a human. There are 8 races and 10 classes. So you can have any combination: human, warrior, barbarian, rogue, necromancy, enchanter. I'll just flip through them. These are my stats. And each class starts with different abilities. Now, you can learn abilities, so each class starts with, I think, 6 abilities. You can learn abilities as you go through the game. They're based on attributes. If you have the necessary attributes, you can learn it. So just because you start off as a warrior, if you get your intelligence high enough, you could learn some of the magic spells. And the strongest builds are kind of use skills from various different classes. So you can see warrior, ogre, you have all the same classes: troll, fairy, gnome, mummy, gargoyle, and vampire. It's quite a lot of information in this game. I'm going to go through it, and I'll try and explain it as I go along. If you have any questions, stick them in the comment section. I like to think I'm pretty good at this game. I would win most of the games I play. I'd be pretty confident about winning as long as I pay attention and I don't misclick or something. I'm not the best by far. There's a guy on YouTube called Random595. If you want to see some truly phenomenal gameplay, go watch him. He is phenomenal. What I'm doing at the moment, I'm on daily challenge. So you can see my stats for the daily challenge. I've won 234 daily challenges. I've lost 141. Now, so win percentage of 62%, which might not seem that great, but there's been a lot of changes. And for example, Gargoyle, it used to, you had no HP or magic regen, so you didn't regenerate H or magic. So if you rolled a daily challenge, what the daily challenge is it picks a random race and a random class, and you just go with it. So, but if you rolled a Gargoyle, say Fire Mage or something, they used to be quite tough because there was no magic regen, so you got 2 spells and then you were out of magic. You were pretty bad in melee, so it was quite a tough challenge. It's a bit easier now. I think the classes are all a bit more balanced now. The philosophy of the developer is that he wants human to be the easiest and the standard. So you can see medium size, they don't get any bonuses, they don't get any the opposite of bonuses. What word am I looking for? Disadvantages. So they're pretty good at everything. You can see gnome, they're small, which means they get less health, less strength, they get less HP per strength point, but then they do get some bonuses. So each of the races, you can make a really powerful build if you play them properly, but they kind of need a bit more knowledge. Anyway, That's a lot of talking. I think I'm just going to jump into a game. I'll kind of try and explain things as I go along. What I do is I generally play the daily challenge. This is not going to be a daily series, but I'll try and throw it up maybe like once or twice a week. My goal is to get a win streak of, I reckon, about 30 on the daily challenge. That means I've won 30. Now, you don't have to play every daily challenge. If you skip a challenge, it won't affect your win streak, so you don't have to play every day. But as you can see, my best win streak on the daily challenge is 17. My current win streak is 16. I've played 375 games altogether. I've probably had this game for at least 2 years. I wouldn't play every daily challenge, but I do play a lot of them, so maybe like 4 or 5 each week. So I'm trying to get up that win streak to 30. We are currently on 16. My best ever is 17. So if I win today, I will match my best ever. So hopefully the whole commentating doesn't throw me off too much. When I started the channel, actually, it was about 2 years ago, almost coming up to the 2-year mark. I had some videos of Rogue Fable 3 up. Obviously the game was a lot different. I deleted them because I did like a month of videos, I think, and then I stopped for about a year and then came back with Luck Be a Landlord. And when I did that, I kind of started from a blank slate and deleted all my old videos. But we'll see, maybe if this gets popular, I'll try and find them again. Presumably they're somewhere, hopefully. I might have deleted them from the desktop, in which case they're gone, but I might be able to find them and throw them up. The game has changed a lot since then. But anyway, I'm going to go into a daily challenge. I'll try and explain as I go along. Let's see what we roll as. So you can tell I am a Gnome Duelist. So you can see Gnome. So we are small, we have less HP. You can see my HP up here in the top right. My magic points, you see mana points used for spell casting. You regenerate 1 every 4 turns. HP, if it reaches 0, you die. You regenerate 1 every 10 turns. Food, you consume 1 food every 80 turns. So this means you can't just rest forever to regenerate magic or health. Otherwise you will die. You have these meat, basically refills your food bar and gives you half your HP and magic points and speed points. Speed points allow you to move without, so you have a turn counter down here, you see T. Speed points, and I'll just show you, every time you move, it takes 1 turn. So you can see 1, 2, 3. Speed points allow you to move without using a turn. So I'm still on turn 4, even though I've moved, but I have used up 1 speed point. They're also used for some of the Duelist's special abilities, such as disengage. Use 1 speed point to attack an enemy and back up a step without ending your turn. So looking at the character, you'll see your class and your race and your level. There's a maximum level of 16, and every level up you'll get either an attribute point or a talent point. So attributes are your strength, dexterity, or intelligence. You can see they each do different things. Strength affects your hit points, melee damage, and encumbrance, which is how much you can wear. Dexterity affects your speed points, 1 per dexterity. Your range damage and your evasion, which is, you can see, evasion. And intelligence affects your mana points, staff damage, and ability power. Now, there's a lot of information. Hit points, mana points, I'll just slowly go over. You can read in this area here what they do. Speed points allow you to sprint without ending your turn. Ability power improves the power of your talents, basically your abilities. And protection reduces physical damage by, you can have this up to, so if you had protection of 4, it reduces every physical damage by 0 to 4. So it might reduce it by 0, might reduce it by 4, it's kind of a random thing. And evasion, this is your chance to just ignore any melee or projectile attacks. Your inventory, your equipment, you can equip things, we'll see that later on. Disengage, these are your talents, so you can see what it does. It does damage and you back up a step. No speed point cost when dealing a killing blow. That's if you've upgraded it. So that's disengage level 2. We only have disengage level 1. So you do use a speed point and you do less damage. You can see that disengage level 2 requires 14 dexterity. And you can see melee damage. It does 160% of our melee damage, which is written right here. This is the 4. And it actually does 180% because we have ability power of 20%, which is based on our intelligence and the fact we're a gnome. So quite a lot to take in. I'd say just jump into it and you'll pick it up as you go along. We have these potion healings, completely restore your HP, cures negative physical effects. You have poison, is the only one I think that you have, and plus 3 max HP if used at full health. We are full health and our HP is quite low, so I'm going to use it. So Gnome Duelist can be very powerful later on, but definitely is rough at the beginning because you're only doing 4 points of damage. So let's get around. You can see this is a bat, level 1, hit points 4, size small, melee attack 1. The size of your character affects what you are what's called unsteady or something on. So you can see every time we move, they get to move. I will use my disengage, so you can see I'll select the talent, select the enemy, disengage. Hopefully the sound settings aren't too high. Let me know what the sound balance is. Hopefully the music and special effects aren't too high in the game. So you can see if you stay, you can be unstable and wet. You're wet because you're in the fire. Take double damage from electric attacks and half damage from fire. Unstable will cause you to be critically hit by all physical attacks. I think this is twice as much damage, but it might be 1.5 times as much. I'm not entirely sure. You'll just take more damage. And your size, because we're small, we're unstable on some things. A medium character would not be unstable on, and then large characters are unstable on even less things. So these are a bunch of rats. I think we can probably take them. We'll wait until they get in the water and then we can use our talent to get rid of them. This is how we want to take them. It's not going to work great because take out that one. This is a lightning shock reeds, damage 9, dangerous reeds which shock you when stepped on. So if I can get the rat to step on those reeds, he'll take some damage. So you can see he took 14 damage. So I think a crit is 50% more, I think. I'm not sure. I might have taken more damage because he was in the water. Not sure. Anyway, the good thing about this game, it does have auto explore. You can see you can hit the key, which is a great quality of life. It's, as far as quality of life goes, it is pretty good. So you can just auto explore the dungeon. Okay, these are stronger goblin warriors, HP 16, they're small, and melee attack 4. So definitely, if I could get these to stand on that, that's pretty good. Pity we didn't take on both of them, but that's okay. I want to take on this guy. Okay, so you can go any direction. Again, so bats move, you can see, it doesn't say, but they are fast, so they can move 2 turns instead of 1. Get rid of him. Oh, we're out of speed points, so we can't use disengage. I don't want to take a fight with this guy with no speed points. I'll try and get him into these fire shrooms. Damage 12, explode when stepped on. The AI in this game is not fantastic, so they will basically take the shortest path towards you. So you can get them to stand on fire shrooms, which is very handy. Let's see. Okay, we'll take on this guy as well. I should be able to take him out 2 disengages. Here's a bat. So bats are flying. Again, I don't think it says it, but it means they won't be affected by shock reeds because they're flying. That's some gold coins. We'll use that to buy stuff in the merchants. Okay. Pick up a bomb. These are consumables, so you can see scroll of teleportation immediately teleports you to a random location in the current level. That's pretty handy. Bombs are just, you do them and they've got an area effect damage, and they do quite a lot of damage, 36. They also do flame damage. You can see we are on the upper dungeon, level 1 out of 4. There are 16 levels in total, I believe, or there used to be 16. No, there's more. There is 20. There's 4 of the upper dungeon, and then there's another set of levels, which could be a few different things. There's 4 of them, so that's 8. There's 6 of the middle set of levels. Again, could be one of 2 things, I believe, which is 14, 18. So there's 18 levels, because then, 5, 19. There's 19 levels, because then there's 5 of another set. You'll see, it doesn't really matter. Then there's side dungeons, which you don't have to do, but you can. That's, again, each side dungeon is 5 levels. So you can see right here downstairs, also handy, has this mini map. You can click on the mini map to move along. These are the stairs to the next level, upper dungeon 2 out of 4. So we're finished exploring here. We can just click on the map and it goes straight to the downstairs. hopefully this is all making sense. The wizard Yender. So the aim of the game is to get down to the last level and then kill the wizard Yender. So you can see how many you fools do we need to kill before you get the message. The goblin is mine. He has like a special goblet of Yender. My minions are still cleaning up the mess we made with the last dozen would-be heroes. At least my disposal guy is good. Every 9 bodies and the 10th one is free. Okay. So this is kind of a boss. Every now and again there's a boss. I think it's once every set of levels. This one is, you can see health 65. They're much stronger. Size small. Life tap melee 5 damage. So we'll wait until he recognizes us. If they have those question marks above their head, it means they haven't spotted you yet. And now we're going to take him out with bombs. You can see that did 34 damage. I couldn't hit him there when he was next to me because that would destroy me as well. Probably kill me. Take him out as well. And we get our first item. Well, short sword is an item as well. You see it does 6 damage. So Ring of the Vampire, life tap 1. Every time we kill or every time somebody dies, or like a monster dies, we get an extra health. You can see the short sword damage, the first number is the 6, that's the base damage that the short sword does, and then the number in brackets is the damage it will do based on our strength, and there's a few talents you can get like weapon mastery that increases your damage with melee weapons. So you can see the base damage is 6, but because our strength is only 8, the base strength, dexterity, and intelligence is 10, so at level 10 you don't get any bonuses, but you don't get any disadvantages. We're level 8, which means we have 4 less hit points. We do 2 less damage and we can only carry 8 weight worth of items. Isn't great. We're going to want to try and get that up. Okay, come here. Take him out. That's a fire mage. Longbow, this is fantastic for a gnome duelist. For a duelist in general because your dexterity tends to be high, but definitely for a gnome because your strength is so low. We don't do very much melee damage, but we will do quite a lot. You can see with the longbow starts off at 6. And because of our dexterity is +2, we're doing +2 damage. Now, the other thing about the damage that the short sword and say the longbow and stuff does, you can only ever, using your attributes, get it up to twice as much as the base. So the short sword, doesn't matter if I had 20 strength, it'd only do 12 damage. It wouldn't do 20 is +10, so it wouldn't do 16 damage. It'd only do 12 because that's double 6. You can enchant it to do more. So you see this guy doesn't notice us. Try and get next to us. If you attack somebody that hasn't noticed you yet, you do get an unaware, it's a critical for attacking somebody that doesn't notice you. Here's an Orb of Storm, hover on that so you can see. This Goblin Brute is medium, but he's also, doesn't say it, but he is slow, which means he can't go diagonally, he can only move up and sideways. So you'll see we can go diagonally around this corner, he has to go up to here and then turn, so we can run away from him. I believe the Storm Mage is also slow, but I'm not sure. You see he has to go into the corner. We're just running away until we get our... Oh, that's not good. That is not good. Let's take out you and you. So one of the most powerful strategies in this game, if you pick it up and you're playing it and you're struggling, is to just run away. So we've reached level 2, we get 1 attribute point, which we can spend. By going into our character screen, we'll definitely put up dexterity. We use dexterity for a bunch of our talents, other than weapon mastery. We'll have to get strength 10 eventually. And also dexterity puts up the amount of damage we do with our bow. So you always see bow range 5, which means that you have 5 tiles of range. I will disengage to get away, and then we can shoot them from, again, disengage to get away. So this is an ability they have. You can see melee attack 5, and then you can see their abilities, Summon Orb of Storm. I think per standard they can use their abilities once every 10 turns, but different abilities can be used different amounts of times. And because we have a bow, they have a melee attack, this is pretty easy. By picking up that bow, we got a lot stronger. So you can see these rats, small, melee damage 2. We stay out of their range using disengage, and then we will take them out with the bow. This is a rat nest, it spawns rats I think every 5 turns. And it spawns a certain number and then destroys itself. You can also destroy the nest itself, but it wasn't in great position. We'll take out this Goblin Archer. They also have a bow, leather helmet. So this is a piece of equipment. We can put it on. You can see it takes 2 encumbrance points. So we can't put on everything we find. Some stuff is really heavy, could be 6 to 8 encumbrance points. And it gives us 1 protection, so we'll take 0 to 1 physical damage less every time we get hit. Physical damage is stuff like what this guy does, melee damage, and also what the archer does, the bow damage. We'll disengage. You can see because we got more dexterity, we have more speed points, which means we can use disengage more often. Okay. Disengage and bows are a fantastic combination. You can keep away from them and take them out at distance. Okay, he hit me. That wasn't great of me, but doesn't really matter. We're on the 3rd level now of our dungeon, 3 out of 4. Okay, Ring of Toxic gives me toxic resistance. You have the different elements. You have fire, ice, or cold, electricity, and toxic. They're the 4 things, and you have mages and creatures that do different attacks. They're not physical attacks, so they're not affected by protection, but they are affected by your resistance. We'll see them later on. This is pretty obviously the 1st level of the dungeon, so we have pretty standard. You can see these can move diagonally. We have pretty standard creatures at the moment. Okay, you can see every time we kill something, we're getting an extra HP point. You can see this is our HP point and this is our mana. Teleport trap. So this is the fire mage. So you see throw fire, they do fire damage instead of melee damage. And Orb of Fire is a special ability that they have as well. Pretty dangerous. We leveled up, we are now on level 3, and that time instead of an attribute point we got a talent point. I will save the talent point because the only thing I can get at the moment is evasion, and I don't think I want to save it for when we get 14 dexterity. We can then pick up a few things. We can pick up lunge, we can pick up disengage, pick up second wind. Take out that fire mage first of all. You can see your progress towards the next level up here. Experience points, you gain experience every time you pick up something or every time you kill a monster. Pick up you have a bunch of fountains, they do various things. This is an experience fountain, so for the next 100 turns we will get double the experience for killing enemies. Pick that up and then we'll go down to the next level. Okay, longbow +1, this is great. So you can enchant items in this game, and what that does is it gives them various benefits. So you can see the longbow +1, the normal longbow has damage of 6 by base, longbow +1 a damage of 7. That means using dexterity with longbow +1 we can get up to 14 damage, whereas with the longbow that isn't enchanted we can get up to only 12. Weapons and most armor can be enchanted up to +3. Rings and a few stuff can only be enchanted to +2. So with a longbow +1 we are very strong, don't need to worry. This is another boss, Argyle the Swift. He is a archer. He shoots arrows, he shoots arcane arrows, and he also has haste, so he can make other creatures move twice as fast, and he moves twice as fast himself. But we're doing more damage than he is, so we can take him out. Totem of Dexterity can be placed in, this is a new thing actually, but it wasn't always here. It can be placed in either your melee, your range, or your shield slot, and what it does is increases your dexterity by +2, which is fantastic. And now we can get another talent. I think probably Second Wind. What Second Wind does is it restores your speed points. I think it's probably the best one. I'm actually going to change this so that disengages in slot 2. It's just where I'm used to having it. Potion of Healing. We probably use that once we get back up to 23 to give us more health. Okay, we reach level 4. We got an attribute point, and because we're a gnome, one of our special abilities is that we get an extra talent point on levels 4, 8, 12, and 16. Get dexterity again, and I'll pick up lunge, I think. Disengage versus lunge. So what lunge does is it enables us to lunge forward and attack an enemy without ending your turn. So like disengage, you attack an enemy and move back. Lunge, you'd be able to attack an enemy here without ending your turn. Let's see if we can use it on this Goblin Archer. So you see we can lunge forward and attack the Goblin Archer, and that doesn't use up our turn. Take him out then with a bow. Wand of Blades summons a bunch of creatures to fight for you. We're up on 23, so I'll use this potion of healing to get more max HP. I'll take out the archer first, and you can see we can kill the rat nest, and that stops them spawning. And I think it gives you HP as experience points as if you'd killed all the rats from it, but I'm not entirely sure. Okay, we can use lunge here. So you can see they threw nets at me. A web. This is a spider, melee attack 6, spider web. That's just what I used the wrong thing. Okay, I meant to use the disengage, but I used the second wind talent instead. That wasn't great. You can see this poison spider. So he will do 7 poison damage to you, and he has a chance to poison you, which is damage you'll take over 3 or 4 turns, and that damage will add up to 21. So if you get poisoned, you are not in a good position. Let's just say. Okay, take out these bats, not a problem. We're pretty strong at the moment. Okay, exploration complete. So let's go to the Undergrove. So this is one of the types of... There's a few different types you can get. Undergrove, you have a desert one, and I believe you have a swamp one as well. So the second set of dungeons is always one of those 3. You can see I can lunge, I can disengage, and then I can attack them all without using any turn. And then we moved forward, and electric eel, throw spark, 6 damage. They do more damage if I was standing in the water, which is why I got out of the water. Shoes give me more mana points, which we're not using, so I'm not even going to bother putting them on. We can sell them at a merchant. So these, the giant bees, melee attack 4, and they move 2 spaces. They have haste. We have disengaged, so we're not too worried about them. Just take him out. Center archers, they're archers, and they can also move 2 space. You'll find a lot of the things in the Undergrove are fast, so they can move 2 space. So you can see these guys spot those. Let's see if we move back. We can only pull. We got all of them. Oh, this is not good. So we're standing on long grass, and because we're small, we are unstable, so they're doing extra damage to us. I am actually in a little bit of trouble at the moment. So what I could do is I could move off the long grass to start off with, and I'll summon some spectral blades to take out these things. And I will, in the meantime, run away, I think. So you see, even though I'm not the one killing the centers, I still get the extra hit points from it. So we have to be a bit more careful. I can take him out. Also, the other thing with long grass, you'll see it ignites and spreads fire, and the same about this vine. This will also ignite and spread fire. If I destroy one of these fire shrooms, or I somehow set fire to the long grass, we'll see if there's any, I can demonstrate it here anywhere. Okay, there's a fire shroom here. So first of all, make sure you're not on the long grass. Then if I shoot the fire shroom to destroy it, it just burns, and it burns set amount, 6 spaces or something, I'm not entirely sure. Wand of Lightning fires a lightning bolt, which is one of the magic abilities. You can also get it as a wand, so even though I'm not a magic user, I can get the ability if I pick up the right wand. Okay, hear the sound of a gate slowly grinding shut somewhere on this level. So somewhere there's this gate, and we have to get to the gate within 100 turns, otherwise it'll be shut for good. I'm not sure, I think maybe, so we have a scroll of blink, immediately teleport to any visible tile. I'm not sure if you teleport inside the room that the gate's on, whether it will reopen. It didn't used to, so you could get stuck inside, but I think now that it does. Enchantment table, we could enchant something to make it better. If I enchant the totem of dexterity, I get extra dexterity, so I'll probably do that. That's a good thing to enchant. I'll be keeping that for the rest of the game. This is a corrupted druid. Throw sparks, airstrike, and heal. So it's a ranged enemy. We're really strong though. We're doing so much damage with our bow, so I'm not that worried. You can see the way the bow says max dex. That means my dex is +7. If I get another dexterity point, it would be +8, but I'd still only do 7 damage because my bow is maxed out basically. take out this eel, and I'll get disengage level 2, I think. Does more damage, and if I kill an opponent, it doesn't use up a speed point, which can be handy when there's lots of opponents. I'll pick up this potion of healing. We're at max health, so I'll drink it for more health. See if I can get, I was hoping to get a unaware crit on him. Oh, get out of the water first of all, otherwise you do more damage. He also missed because I moved. I think that's based on your invasion chance. You can see we're very hungry, we have no food, so every 2 or 3 turns we'll take a point of damage, and we also won't regenerate. So eat the food, we get our food back. These are doors, you have to click on them to open, they don't open automatically, and you'll see the doors covered in warning glyphs, really open it. When you do, it'll be full of monsters. There's always a room, and there'll be quite a lot of monsters in it. So we're just fighting a retreating battle. Okay, pretty good. Get Ring of Ice. Does ice cold resistance? I mean, we might as well use the toxic ring. Doesn't make any difference. We haven't come across any enemies that do one or the other. So here I'm going to use this speed point to sprint in. I'm going to try and take out this nest, otherwise I'll spawn another 3 of these. And then we'll fight a retreating battle. So disengage and lunge both use my melee damage, which is only 4, so they're not very effective. Longbow uses my dexterity, so it's much better. I think I can take out these guys. So you see we can't reach him. So if I move forward 2, I can reach him now. And they shoot every 4 turns, I believe. So I knew I was safe for a few turns. Tome of Knowledge, this will give me a list of talents that I don't already own and a talent point. Power Shot is really good. A talent point though, so you don't have to take it, would give me evasion or dash attack. A talent point would be really good once we get to dexterity, but once we get dexterity 18, Power Shot is really good now. It's a ability. It does, you'll see, where is it? It does 200% of my range damage and takes 6 turns. So once I use it, I have to wait 6 turns. I have to wait 10 turns before I can use it again. 6 turns if I upgrade it to level 2, and it'll do 240%. By base, 260 because my ability power is 20%. So you can see this does 31 damage. And that's because my range damage is so high. So take Power Shot, take that out in 1 shot. These things are fast, but it's okay. We can fight a kind of a retreating battle. So webs also burn if they're hit by a firepot. So this is a firepot. If you blow it up, it'll shoot fire out in these 4 directions. It'll burn anything that's burnable that's next to any of the fire. And we have to hold the Z key. It does quite a lot of damage. Here's a merchant. We can sell, I might need the Ring of Ice, so I'll sell the bow and the shoes. Ring of Substance is not bad, and potion healings are also not bad. We can use that to get more max HP. So that's what our gold is used for, that you see us picking up. It's used for buying things in the merchant, and also you can buy some talents later on, also for gold. You can also buy attribute points and things. There's a few things you can buy using gold. Let's pick up Dexterity 18, and then we'll start working on Strength, I reckon. Try and get our melee abilities doing more damage. So this is an ambush, so what this is a hidden monster, and then when you get closer to it, enough to it, it'll kind of reveal itself. And it'll never reveal itself and attack on the same turn, so it will reveal itself on 1 turn, and then the next turn it will attack. So as long as you're kind of paying attention, you won't get super surprised by it. This is quite a lot of, but we are really strong, so I think I can take them. Take out the archers first. Not worried about the melee people as long as I have speed points left. This is a Goblin Shaman. He throws ice, so he's a ranged person, and he also heals his buddies. We are very strong, and we're also healing every time we kill them, so I'm not that worried. Okay, elephants. These have a charge ability where if you're in line with them, they will charge. What that is they move 2 spaces every turn, but in a straight line, so it's not, you can kind of bait it out. So you charge, and you can go back, they'll charge again. You can kind of stand here and just, very easy to deal with if you have a ranged weapon. Even without a ranged weapon, you could just stand next to them and attack them as they go by. This is a boss, so this is like the boss of the Undergrove. Melee attack, he does melee damage and he summons monsters, so I think we have a bow, we should be able to take him. He can pull me. We have disengage, so we can just stay out of range. I think he can summon a creature looks like every 4 turns. And he can use his vine pull ability every now and again. I have no problem taking him out. And Entwood Armor uses 5 encumbrance points, gives you 3 protection, and also gives you 6 hit points, so we'll definitely put that on. And you can see this has to be put in the chest slot breastplates. Scroll of Flash Freeze freezes all the creatures around you. It's very strong. Let's go in, let's take out these red doors. So I'll click on one of these red doors, they'll all open. Generally, when you have a bunch of doors in vicinity like that, clicking on one will open them all. So you can see our disengage is not doing very much damage. Actually, I forgot I have power shot. Could have been using that. Definitely when I took out that tree fella, should have been using power shot. Javelins are, you throw them, they only do damage to one thing, but they do quite a lot of damage. And you can see javelins are affected by our dexterity, as if it's a kind of a ranged thing. So this is the next set of dungeon floors, Orc Fortress. There's 6 of these are like the middle ones. Orc Archer shoots arrows, take it out. Very strong. You can see here's a stool. If they're standing on the same square as the stool, they take critical damage because they're unstable. If I could take out this thing without it spawn, this is a wolf spawner, so it will spawn 3 wolves. I could take it out without spawning, that's great. Teleport trap, just randomly, if you go on a square, it'll just teleport you to another random square. There's also a pit trap. Does this give you a charge and fortify? There's also a pit trap which will drop you to the floor below, to a random spot on the floor below, which can be quite dangerous. You could get dropped right in the middle of a bunch of monsters. And you can see these are wolves. These are fast. They move 2 spaces. And yeah, they're kind of tricky to deal with. Not for us particularly, because we have disengage and we are very strong. You level up. When you level up, you also refill your HP and magic points, which could be important. I'll take lunge level 2. So that does, like disengage level 2, it does more damage, plus if you kill a monster when you're using the ability. Let's see if I can get in, so I'll sprint in using a few speed points. I'll try and take him out without him spawning more creatures. So Broad Axe is another type of weapon. It does 6 damage by base, the same as Short Sword, but what Broad Axe will do is it'll attack up to 3 adjacent enemies. Short Sword has a 20% chance of parrying. I think Broad Axe is better than Short Sword. We shouldn't be getting attacked very often. I'm down to floor number 2. So generally a run of this will take me about 60 minutes. I like to clear everything. If you watch Random 595, I think he generally averages about 30 to 45 minutes. It's bananas. He's much quicker. And this run is going to be a little bit slower because just explaining everything. Or maybe we'll try speed it up towards the end. So this is an ogre, very strong, size large. They are slow though, so they can't move diagonally. But this is a pyromancer. Show you they have the abilities throw fire, orb of fire, firestorm, and wall of fire. So this is an orb of fire. It moves in a straight direction until it hits something and then explodes. This is the wall of fire. I'm going to run through that. You also can't shoot arrows through the wall of fire. take him out. Start taking these people out. So there's a second one. You can shoot arrows into a wall of fire, so I can shoot an arrow to here, but not to here. Take this guy out with lunge and disengage. Just keep an eye on my speed points. Archers, we're not worried about archers. We have protection, so he should have done 6 damage, but because I have 4 protection, he only did 2. Now we could have done all 6. I'm just lucky, you see he did 5 damage there, so I only got 1 point of protection instead of 4. Potion of healing, probably okay. We want to take him out with, I have to remember I have power shot, so it didn't manage to do. So the way damage works is here is you're guaranteed to do at least half the damage. So this says 14, so I'm guaranteed to do at least 7. I'll do somewhere between 7 and 14. So here I'm guaranteed to do at least 16 damage. I'll do somewhere between 16 and 31, and then because it's unaware, I'll do an extra 50%. So I'm guaranteed to do between 24 and 45 damage. I think I only did 24 actually. So that was the low end of what I should have done. But you get that. It's not a set amount of damage. I'll wait until he forgets about me. So you can see once the little question mark appears, he's forgotten about you. So if I go in, he now sees me again. I can't reach him. I have to go a bit closer. But I do get 1 turn to react before he spots me. In Rogue Fable 2, the web version, I think there only was a web version, your weapon did a guaranteed amount of damage. So this is the Ring of Slaying. This puts up my melee damage by 3. Excellent item. So I'm now doing 7 damage. 4 plus 3 from the Ring of Slaying. And that Ring of Slaying isn't affected by the base damage of 6. So if I had plus 6 strength, I'd be doing 12 damage, which would be the most I could do with plus 6 strength. Even if I had plus 8 strength, I'd still only be doing 12 damage, but the Ring of Slaying would still be a plus 3, so I'd be doing 15 damage. So you can see there are 2 choices here, the Core and Orc Fortress 3. So Orc Fortress is a set of 6 floors, and then there are 2 kind of side branches. There's one on floor 2 and there's one on floor 4. You need to do at least one of them to progress because you need 2 keys to progress. You get one of them at the end of Orc Fortress and then you get the other keys at the end of each side branch. So the Core is like a fire-based side branch. It's not great. So I'm going to go to level 3. I'll see what's on level 4. Maybe we'll do that one instead, depending on which one's easier. The game sometimes takes a bit of time to load between floors. But that's okay. Probably takes a bit longer for me because I'm, recording at the same time. Let's disengage. Let's try this. So you can see, even though I was aiming at this guy when I disengaged, I still hit this guy because I have the axe. That's the advantage of the axe. Starting to do a bit of damage now with my lunge and disengage. You'll see we'll hit both of these. You can see the little red squares around them. I'm still not doing what I'd say a lot of damage with my lunge and disengage, but at least I'm doing more than 4. So I can actually kill things with them. I'm still doing much more damage with my bow. I should also still be using... So you see these guys see us, but so they know about us because this guy saw him and he kind of shouts and alerts people in the vicinities. But because they don't see us, they don't spawn any wolves. We're going to try and get close and use our power shot to take them out. Ring of Strength, this is really good. So I will start putting up strength. I want weapon mastery. I'll actually keep it because I do have a ring of strength there, so I'll be able to get weapon mastery straight away. I think this ring of strength is probably better than the ring of vampiric, ring of the vampire. Now get weapon mastery, start doing 12 damage now, so that's plus 1, so it's 6, plus 1 from my strength, and plus 3. How am I getting 12? What? 6 plus 3. Oh yeah. Weapon Mastery gives you +2 to melee damage. I was like, where's the other +2? I just gotten the Weapon Mastery talent, which gives me +2 to melee damage. Okay, yeah, that explains it. I was too confused there for a second. I was like, I'm doing too much damage. So if I can take him out in one shot, I can. Excellent. There's the Librarian. So this is a character, an NPC, I guess, that's always on level 3. And what she does is she has 10 talents that you can buy. Sleep Bomb is fantastic. I'll definitely get that. And they're 75 gold each. And there's also always a Tome of Knowledge here. Tome of Knowledge always has 4 talents that you can pick up. These are free as long as you meet the requirements, the attribute requirements. Or you can just take a talent point. I will probably take a talent point and will I? You get a lot of talent points as a gnome is the only thing. Charge isn't great. Cyclone Strike is not bad. That basically hits everyone around you. I shouldn't need it though because I am a duelist, so I'll take the talent point. I will put it in Sleep Bomb level 2. What this does is so everything inside it sleeps for 11. Starts off as 9, but it's 11 because of our ability power. And takes 6 cooldown, range of 7. It's very, very powerful talent. You can see, I can go up here, I can sleep these guys, and then they're not affected. Even if I take out his friend, this one doesn't wake up. They won't wake up for 11 turns, and because they're asleep, I get extra damage against them. It's very, very powerful. One of the best abilities. As any character, you should probably pick up Sleep Bomb if it's offered. Take out this guy with Power Shot and go down to level 4. Alright. Let's see, there is because it's yellow, they're a monster with a special attribute, in this case regenerating, so he regenerates faster. Generates like 4 turn or something. Bananas. So take on these Minotaur, size large, they have trample and a charge effect. We saw the charge earlier with the elephants. Minotaurs are the same. Let's see if we can sneak in and using lunge and disengage, take him out before he fires something at us. The rest of these we can just take out using our bow and disengage. We definitely want to take out this Ogre Magi. So this is Clockwork Warrior, which means I know what the side dungeon is. It's going to be a place called the Iron Forge. It's kind of full of these automatons, like these robot-y guys. It's not one of the easiest. I mean, not like it's hard for us, but use my second wind to get some, what are these, speed points back. Take them out. Not one of the easiest, but it's not too bad. Just remember to use these potions. 47 hit points, which is starting to get up there in terms of hit points. So just fight a retreating battle with these ogres. Hungry again. We can food greed, which is basically where we keep on exploring things while hungry. So that when we eat our food, we kind of get a bit of some free turns. It's not really necessary, you get loads of food. So +1 ring of resistance, this gives us resistance to everything, but we already have 2 rings that we're going to use, so that's useless. Scroll of Enchantment, this is probably the best. I'll take it. The other one is a Spiky Shield, gives you 2 protection. Physical damage shield means that every time someone attacks you, a melee attack, they'll get damaged by 2, and it weighs 5. Scroll of Enchantment, enchant a piece of equipment, will definitely enchant our totem of dexterity. So it's +2. Dexterity is the most important thing that a duelist can have. I wonder what's in here. Okay, let's take out these. So this is Smite. This is used by the Orc Priest. If I stay here, whatever is in this turn will do quite a lot of damage to. You can use that if you're running away. And say I'm here, there's a creature here. If I run backwards, they'll probably move into the space and then they'll get hit by Sprite. I've been slowed by the cold wizard, and that means I can't use speed points. And I also can't move diagonally anymore. So that's pretty annoying actually. This is a bomb, it'll explode after 3 turns. I'm actually just gonna run away, I think. Generally, running away is the best strategy. It's just because this healer also heals them, it's just irritating. I should be using Power Shot. Okay, I'll take him out because I'm very strong. Good thing about this healer is he doesn't have any direct attacks, so if he's the only person you are fighting, he's easy to avoid. He's easy to take out just every time he smites you. Show your Orc Slaver, melee attack of 9, whip attack of 7. I'll just take these all out with my Duelist abilities. We're not healing from them anymore. And that's okay. You can see these wolves are everywhere. We are very strong. I'm going to go here, and then when I get here I can disengage and lunge to kill them. So as a duelist, by the time you get to this stage, you can do so much stuff each turn that they can't. So this is Crystal Captain Reflective. If you shoot things at him, I think he has a 75% chance of reflecting it. So we definitely won't be using... the bow against him. It can be quite tough. Yeah, there's a class called the Ranger. Get him into those fire shrooms. And I'm going to take him up here to the water, because then we'll get extra damage on him. Hopefully that'll be enough to kill him. Yeah, you can see we're doing 26 to 40 damage now. So we should have enough speed points to take him out. I'll get the Shield of Reflection, which gives me reflection and protection, but I'm already using the shield slot for something which I think is better. Take out that ogre. These guys have kind of forgotten about me on the journey. Take out this potion of gain attribute. I can drink this and I can get an extra attribute. I'll take some strength for more damage. Let's see, is there any more of these? There is. Thought there was another one that I've missed. Okay. So the only thing about strength is I am limited based on my class and race to a max strength of 16, max dexterity of 24, and max intelligence of 24. So I can't get too much strength. I'm going to take him out with lunge and disengage. Let's get this guy in the water. Much easier to do. He's going to charge. Okay, I know the boss is in this kind of center room, so I'm going to go along the outside and take out all of the minions. Make the boss himself easier to deal with. There's only a certain number of bosses, so you start to recognize kind of what you're going to get. And each boss... Oh, I wasn't paying attention there, so I got hit by a charge. That was sloppy. Luckily we have the health to survive it. Shouldn't be in the water here if I'm fighting a ranged creature. Strength, I think there's a good chance we're going to get an item that gives us strength, because the boss here drops an item that gives strength, and the Iron Forge boss may drop an item that gives strength, so I'm going to put up my dexterity. Okay, so you can see, it's a good thing we didn't get noticed by the boss, because actually I wouldn't mind picking that up. It's very greedy to go for it though, so I won't bother. Just take out all of these people, just keep an eye on my speed points. You can see, look how much stuff we got done in one turn. I'm now going to get more speed points. Once you get to this level, the Duelist is probably one of the most powerful classes. Pick up the experience points and then we'll go in and we'll take on the boss. See till they recognize us, and we'll take them to the water so that we get critical hits on them. I could have waited until my second wind was back up, Let's try and get this guy to be a charge. Use my power shot. Just keeping an eye on my speed points. I'm going to put him to sleep now, so I don't use up all my speed points. Oops. I used an auto attack there and an auto attack the boss instead of this guy. It's my own fault. Okay, once they get down to a certain health, they do have a chance of running away. As you would expect, hammer crushing. So this is very powerful. It does 17, you can see 17 damage, 24 with all of our changes, but it does use up my shield slot. So if I'm going to use it, I can't have a shield, a bow and a hammer because it's a two-handed weapon. I don't want to give up my dexterity. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put on the hammer crushing and I'm going to move my dexterity totem to my bow slot. So I no longer have any ranged weapon. But it should be made up by the fact that the hammer is so powerful. I don't need a ranged weapon anymore. Let me check my gold. Don't have that much gold. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the merchant. I'm going to sell a few things and then I'm going to go to the librarian. I'm going to pick up charge, so that'll allow me to cover distance fairly quickly in case I need to sneak up on ranged enemies. So I'll say I'm not going to use that. I'm not going to use any of these anymore. Not going to use that. Not going to use short sword. Not going to use a shield. And I'll keep the bow because it might come in handy. Also pick up another potion of healing. Is there anything here we want? Charge and fortitude. I'll actually buy this. So this will give me the 2 charge and fortitude. Fortitude gives you more health points. I will pick up charge. You can see the hammer crushing gave me 2 extra strength, so I'm quite close to 16, which is why I didn't put in any extra strength. I'll take a bigger second wind. Maybe I should have taken charge there. I think I'll get the option on my next level up. Didn't really think about it. Doesn't really matter. We should be fine for Iron Fortress. We do have Sleep Bomb. So you can see Isle will explode and you're unstable on it. I think everybody is unstable on it, even large creatures. So I think quite a lot of these people are hidden behind these doors. So this is like a conveyor belt. It'll move you along and you can't go see if you're on it. And you just try and step on it, it'll push you off. It's kind of a one direction. So everyone's hidden behind these doors. Let's open this one. And we should be fine. Level up, we got, what did I want? Charge this time. Move charge. That's kind of a useless talent now because we've no bow, but should be fine. So there's Isle here, so we should be able to take them out in one shot. Doing quite a lot of damage. These guys have protection themselves. That's the other thing about Iron Forge is they have protection, so the bow is not as good against them. But the hammer ignores protection. So picking up the hammer makes the Iron Forge much easier. Scroll of requirement, we can use that for picking up various different things. You can kind of choose. These are Clockwork Bombers. You want to keep an eye on them. They shoot you with flaming projectiles and they also throw a bomb, which does quite a lot of damage. Explode next turn. See if we can take them out. We can actually take them out in one go. We are duelists, so we are very strong. Heavy brass helmet. This is a hat. 5 encumbrance, 3 protection, puts our strength up by 1, we'll take it. It's better than the leather helmet we were wearing. So Iron Forge 2 out of 3. So what it is there's 4 normal levels and then there's a boss level at the end. So 5 levels really. We'll use our charge. You can see what sprint forward, attack in a single turn. So it does use a turn, but still really good. Corrosive Slime. These split when they're attacked and degrades the enchantment of melee weapons. We don't have any enchantment on our melee weapons. But if I had enchanted this weapon, which I might do because it does, not only does it do more damage, but it'll do more strength. That would have degraded, which would have been really annoying. These things are, they explode when they die. Would you recognize me? Luckily we have disengage. If we didn't have that, it'd be much more difficult to deal with. Okay. Let's take out these rats. Take these out before they recognize us. There's also a thing here, if you are between a wall, if I attack you and you're between a wall, I get a critical hit. This is just a great weapon for a melee build. It's just fantastic, one of the best weapons. Though it does force you to give up your shield slot. So, well, not a shield, you can't give up as I did your, no, it forces you to give up your shield slot. Yes. And there are some really good shields out there. Okay, we have disengage, otherwise that'll be more damaging. Let's open this, let's see what's in it. We'll just be able to take out these in basically one go. So you can see, Duelist, I'm doing all this in one turn. I'm not even using a speed point because I'm taking them all out in one attack. Not even using a speed point. Get our 16 strength. Move down to the next level. That's an enchanter, so you can give them 75 gold and they'll give you a scroll of enchantment. Charge, take him out. Leveled up. We don't need any more strength. I will take some more dex and I will level up fortitude to give me more health points. Motion healing, we'll actually use these to get more health points. I'll use the scroll of inquirement to get more scrolls. Get me free scrolls. These will be really good when we're facing the boss. Open this cliff door. So you see, because they're on isle, I do more damage. I'm doing all critical hits. So I'm doing my disengage and my lunge both do 62 points of damage. That's before the extra 50% from critical hits, so I am at the moment extremely powerful. Basically, I just need to pick up the keys. This is the key. You see, we picked this one up from the level 6 after we killed the Minotaur. There's another key at the end of the Iron Forge, and there's a key at the end of the core, and we need 2 keys to unlock the gate to the final section. These conveyor belts definitely slow the game down. Oh. Every side dungeon has one of these 2 monologists. That's the other reason to do a side dungeon. Precision makes your critical hits do more damage. That's phenomenal. With this weapon. Pick up this more experience because there's quite a lot of things in here to take them out in a few turns. Use my charge. Take these out. So you can see Duelist, by the time you get to this level, with doing this much damage is phenomenal. I use Auto Explore, and Auto Explore with these conveyor belts it's not great. Okay, level up though. I'll take Weapon Mastery for another 6 damage, yeah. Pick up a Wand of Coal. This is a kind of a cold cone kind of spell. Oh yeah. So it hits everything in like a cone and it pushes them back and does damage to them. Shouldn't have taken damage there. Let's take out one of these. Are turrets, so they can't move, but they do quite a lot of damage and they have quite a lot of health and quite high protection. So we're very overpowered, so it's not very hard. Warhammer is like, it's similar to the Hammer of Crushing. This is dropped by a boss. This is just a normal item. So you can see this puts up your strength, but other than that, they're both the same. And also this gives you critical hits if the target is when crushing enemies against walls, whereas the normal Warhammer doesn't. Let's go down to the next level. You can see how the game kind of slows down when moving on these conveyors. So you'll see we are on floor 4 of the Iron Forge, and then The control center is the boss room. Every side dungeon has one of two boss rooms. So the control center is this one. And what is a room with a very powerful boss. We're going to actually make him sleep, so we don't have to deal with him. And then usually a bunch of strong enemies as well. What this one does is it spawns enemies, so if we can take him out before he spawns any enemies, it's very easy. You get the Clockwork Power Armor, which is fantastic. Each boss will drop a unique item. So there's 2 unique items you can get from each side branch. Clockwork Power Armor, Encumbrance 6, Protection 5, Strength 3. It's usually phenomenal, but our strength is already maxed out. And the Entwood is giving us hit points, so it's actually better. I'm hungry at the moment, but we'll do a bit of food greeting. There's no other enemies on this floor, because the boss didn't get a chance to spawn any. So we don't have any danger of getting attacked, basically. Now I just have to go back up. You have to retrace your steps from the side dungeon. And back up again. On floor 2 now. We could pick up a Scroll of Enchantment. We could enchant the Ring of Slaying. Actually, we have quite a lot of gold. So I'll go back down. Go to the Enchanter. You can see we're down to 16 hit points, so there's a little red border. I think it's when you're at 20% maybe or something. Okay, we'll use our food now. It'll also make it a lot less annoying to go around. We'll get 2 Scrolls of Enchantment to enchant the Ring of Slaying. We could also enchant the hammer maybe twice, or we could put this on, take off the strength ring and put on one of the other rings. You can see this is a charm, can be placed, it's like the charm of dexterity. And basically all your spells, every time you kill something you get a mana back. That'd be very good for the magic users. Let's go to is there a merchant in the Iron Forge? There is not. Let's go to the merchant and we'll prepare for our trip down to kill the boss, basically. Once you go into the Vault of Yender, which is the final set of floors, you generally don't come back, so it's not worth really coming back. So you can see I sold him a bunch of stuff, he doesn't have it anymore. So I'll sell him the Clockwork Armor, sell him this, sell him this, sell him the Home would come in handy. Take the Scroll of Teleportation. I'll take the Potions of Resistance. Is there anything from the Librarian that I might want? Let's go to the Librarian, see if there's anything she wants. That's a core. We could do that one if we wanted to get even stronger, but it's a bit of an annoying one if you're not levitating. There's a lot of lava and stuff, so it's just a bit annoying, and we don't need it. Recovery is Cyclone Strike. Pretty good. Recovery, Cyclone Strike, I think is probably the best. Recovery is pretty good. It gives you back hit points. Okay, let's go down. I think we are prepared. We have a few things. We don't have a lot of consumables, but we are incredibly strong, just incredibly strong builds. So there are some consumables that will help you. There's a power potion, which we haven't picked up any of, which will make you do double damage for 100 turns, I think. And what you can do, you see these dungeon pits, if you jump into them, you will go down to the next floor. Now it will put you in a random place on the next floor, and it'll take half your health points, but it's just a fast way of getting down to the next floor. Of course, this is not the best place to be put because of these. I think I have enough speed points that I can just take them out. So there's a few floors. This is one of the more annoying floors, I think. There's another one of these. I knew it was there, so I was kind of waiting for it. But it's not the worst. Just have to be aware. And also we have sleep bombs, so we can kind of sleep these things. But it is definitely kind of an irritating floor. So some floors, like that last one, we have no speed points. Restore. Like the last one, you can just skip it by jumping in a pit. They're the best ones. Okay. I'll drink this energy fountain. Completely restores your mana and speed points, and it also restores all your cooldowns. So worth doing. Just take on these creatures. See, Knights of Yendor, melee attack 13, protection 7. They are quite strong. I am also quite strong. Loads of these things. Attribute point, let's get more dexterity. We could get more intelligence to improve our abilities, but more dexterity so we can move more. The other thing about these war engines is you can see they're facing a particular direction. They can only shoot in that direction, and it takes them a turn to turn 90 degrees. Same with these turrets. So he's not facing towards us, neither of them are, but they kind of are now. I'll use Sleep Bomb on this one. Also, this turret can't shoot us because it can't see us. Using a lot of speed points. Let's get my speed points back. Let's take you out. Let's take you out. Use Torment on me, which takes half my hit points. I should probably rest. Yeah, I think I'll just rest here to get some of my hit points back. Like, you can't rest if there's enemies near. Makes sense. So I rested. You see, I used a load of turns. My food went down, but my hit points went up. So you can't rest indefinitely because you'll starve. There are some creatures there, but I'll get to... Oh, I thought there were creatures there. Maybe there's not. Oh, this is another one that's tough to skip. There's also a load of monsters here. Now, as a duelist, we're in quite a good position to take them out. Just has to be careful not to run out of speed points. You have these toxic liches, and what these can do is revive skeletons. So basically, you could be fighting forever. Can't use my charge and go over the fire shroom, which is not a good idea. And I have to use quite a lot of speed points to get rid of them. Let's put you to sleep. Let's go and deal with this other lich. Also, because we can kind of take them out in one shot and not even use a speed point, we're not. I thought I'd use the speed point that turn. Having keyboard issues. Okay, I can click on things again. You can see we're poisoned, so we will do damage every turn until we do a total damage of 20. Let's hide here. I don't think they can shoot through that. They can now shoot me, though. How many speed points do I have? Enough. We'll put you to sleep. And if I go upstairs, they'll all forget about me. So let's go upstairs. Let's rest here and get our hit points back. We have a load of food, so I'm not that worried about using food points. It's worth it. Get our hit points back, so don't need to worry about dying. Take these out. Also get our speed points back. Take these out and run away from you. Wait until you forget about it. You can see on the minimap when they drop off. It should stop being red. Okay, he has forgotten about us, but he's only kind of forgotten about us, I think. This is where if I had a bow, I could shoot that. He now knows about us again. Let's use this. Let's use charge to attack him. Let's take you on. Let's wait until we get our charge back. Take you on. We can ignore that one. Let's wait until we get our speed points back. So if you hit the only problem with this game is if you hit the rest key, you will rest until either your magic points or HP points restore to full. And sometimes you just want to rest until your speed points restore to full. So you can see I regenerate 2 health points per 10 turns. So if I'm 40 health points down, that's 200 turns, whereas you regenerate 1 speed point per 10 turns. So if I'm 4 speed points down, I only have to wait 40 turns, but if I hit rest, it will wait until my health points are fully. You can wait 1 turn, but what are you going to wait 40 turns? It's not. That's the only thing where I wish there was a key for just maybe waiting 10 turns. like a set amount of turns rather than wait all the turns or one turn. Somewhere in between. Took that out fairly easy. And you can see there's more creatures here, and I think 3 of them are liches, so there'll be, you see, more spiders, more skeletons as turns go by, but we're just going to leave them all there. This is one of the reasons you won't go back, is because A, we're jumping, so I don't actually know what the stairs are, but B, generally I just leave a load of monsters there because there's no point in, you don't get any bonus points for killing them. I will get more experience, but we don't need it. This is the last floor, 5 out of 5. And the way it works is there's 3 rooms. Each room contains, you'll see. So there's a boss. Well, look who finally showed up. You seem to have gotten the best of my minions, I admit, but our recruiting standards have been slipping lately. I suppose if you want to do something right, you have to do yourself. So this is the Wizard Yender himself. I'm just going to put him to sleep. This sleep bomb makes this a much easier fight because I can deal with all the minions without having to worry about dealing with him himself. By the time you get to this stage, you're so strong that the Wizard Yender is not very dangerous. I have 5 spell points. I can probably kill him before he even wakes up. Yep. So I've reached level 15, 1 talent point. Bahaha, you're going to have to try harder than that. This is a teleporter. This will portal you. So it'll teleport you somewhere, and you can't go back unless you use another teleporter. They're not two-way things. They're one-way. So I'll pick up a restoration and a health fountain. This completely restores your health points and also gives you regeneration. Heals you for 1 health point every turn for 50 turns. The mana one increases your magic power by 1 every turn for 50 turns. So important if you are a mage. Yeah, we'll put you to sleep. You can see this is just a stronger version of the wizard. And these are some storm imps. These can be annoying because we're not flying. So if we fall down the pit, because we're on the last level, we die, and it's not a great way of dying. I'll take out that charge. I have a talent which I haven't used. I'll definitely put that in charge so I can use it more often. Yeah, will you just get on? There we go. Yeah, on the land so I can attack you. My sleep bomb ran out, so I'll use it again. Just take out these guys, and again, sleep bomb plus duelist makes this a very easy fight. I don't think I even need to. I might as well wait until I get my speed points back. And now we jump in. But you'll see there's no way of going back from here to our first place. If I take the portal, it'll take me to the next place. It won't take me back. So that's the thing about portals. Again, I'll take him out and then I'll take on his slimes, I guess. So you see these have damage shield, so they'll do up to 7 damage to me. I have a lot of health, so I can afford it. This is where a bow would be handy because then I wouldn't be taking damage. I also am going to use a potion of healing to heal me up fully. These ones don't have damage shield. So I'll just take these out. Slimes can be really annoying because they split. So I'm doing so much damage that they're not actually splitting because their health is too low. But they can split. Now I'll show you something with the wizard Yender. If we kill him, put you here, get my spell points back. I'll wait until I have my sleep bomb back. So we kill him. Is it over? No, he's back. You don't seem to understand. As long as I possess the goblet, you cannot hope to defeat me. Put him to sleep. You can figure it out fairly. It's not like a super challenging riddle on how to defeat him. You just have to destroy this goblet shield, which has 100 health. You have to pick up the goblet. Hey, get your grubby hands off that, as if a fool like you has any hope of wielding its powers. So before the last update, I think it was, you just had to pick up the goblet to win. The Wizard Yender didn't exist either. So they just had a bunch of floors, and then the goblet was at the end of one of the floors. So if you had a bunch of speed points, you could kind of speed point in, pick up the goblet, and win straight away without killing anything on the floor. But the developer got rid of that as an option because, it basically made the last few floors completely useless. You just spend your time getting super powerful, and then you would just speed point past everything. So at least now you have a fight. So it makes it harder because you have to be prepared for the fight. I am in this run over prepared. This is a ridiculously powerful build. So this fight was fairly trivial, but didn't even use quite a lot of my consumables. But less strong builds can have a problem. it isn't hard to win this game if you're prepared. I could have done the other side branch, I would have been even more powerful, but I was already too powerful. But as long as you're prepared, it's not a hard fight, and you know what you're getting into. You always have 3 wizards. They can be, so this was a cold based one, this was a shock based one, and this was a toxic based one. You can also have a fire based one and a, I guess it's like an enchanter. He can summon creatures and cast various different spells, and they're not always in the same order, so you could do the toxic one first and then the fire and then the cold or whatever, but it's always 200 hit points, 300 hit points and 400 hit points. So I level 15 Duelist successfully defeated the Wizard Gender and retrieved the Goblet in 68 minutes. This would pretty slow for a Duelist build. You can view your character and then click done. And that's it. You can see your game records for, if you go to game type daily challenge, I'm up to, you can see your various different runs. So you can see 29, 28. I've played the last bunch of daily challenges. And you can see this was a Duelist, an Ice Mage. It doesn't tell you what race you were, it just tells you what class you were. So Duelist, Ice Mage, Enchanter, Rogue, Duelist. It's just kind of random. Can't remember what this Duelist was race-wise. Win streak. This is our best win streak. But we are now up to a win streak of 17. I'm not sure you go into new game. Yeah, you can't see what your current win streak for the daily challenge is unless, as you can see, we've done the daily challenge for today, so as an option it's gone. But that's the only way you can see your current win streak, which should probably be changed, but I guess it's alright. So we're up to a win streak of 17. My goal is to get up to 30. Now, I'm not going to show all of these on camera because I just don't have the time to record this was an hour 20. I just don't have the time to record that every day, but I hope every once or twice a week to bring a video. You can see where I currently am on my win streak, and I get a video out maybe at least once a week during the weekend. I should have time to do it. Maybe a second or third video every week if I can, and just you'll be able to see my progress towards what I hope is 30. And hopefully we get there within the next 2 weeks. Can only hope. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it's a really long video, so if you stuck it to the end, thanks. That means a lot. An hour 20. I hope I explained everything well enough. If you have any questions, put them in the comments and I'll answer them. And I hope it wasn't too hard to follow. Thanks for watching. As always, we'll be back tomorrow with the normal Look Be a Landlord stuff, shorter videos. And hopefully I'll get another video of this out within the week. So until then, take care of yourselves and cheers for now.